development of an inland dry port in Haipang in JOS Plateau State is anything to go by, then the economic landscape of that part of the country will soon receive a boost. The project, being facilitated by Nigerian Shippers Council, is a potential window for investment, wealth and job creation. The NSC recently launched an operational manual for the inland dry ports. We will tell you all about this critical infrastructure and its economic benefits to the people on this episode. Stay tuned, I'll be back shortly.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from Port A, go enter Port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey gidigba,
Nigerian Shippers Council with the meeting for the port of Nani.
Welcome back. The program you are watching is The Shipper, Nigeria's foremost television program on maritime activities, an initiative of Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. My name is Abike Ido. Government's strategic plan to decongest the seaports in Lagos and establish dry ports in other parts of the country is on course. Executive Secretary Nigerian Shippers Council, Barrister Pius Akuta, gave this assurance when the agency launched the operational manual for dry ports in JOS Plateau State. Additional Abiodun compiled this report presented by Ifeanyiwa Okonkwo.
Until very recently, when government resolved to develop inland dry ports, the seaports were the major entry points for clearance of cargoes. For an import-dependent economy like Nigeria, the seaports were often a beehive following heavy human vehicular movements in and out of the seaports, especially those in Lagos. The heavy traffic led to congestion, which forced untold hardship on most road users around the ports. The purpose of establishing inland dry ports was to, among others, bring shipping and port services closer to the stakeholders, especially importers and exporters of goods. To ensure efficient use of the facility, Nigerian Shippers Council developed an operational manual presented at a sensitization in JOS, Plateau State. The NSC boss, who spoke through a representative, Ife Okolwe, Director, Inland Transport Services, described inland dry port as a catalyst for improved trade flows and source of revenue generation. He said the establishment of inland dry ports will increase cargo throughput, promote export of agricultural produce, as well as create employment for the people.
The inland dry ports facilitate trade and economic activities, especially in the various geo-economic zones. Let me tell you that once Haipang starts, give it 1 year. If you get to Haipang, you will not recognize it. Because there are so many businesses, there are employment, the place. Maybe you used to get accommodation there for 200 naira. I tell you that by that time, when you come, they tell you 100,000. You say, one number, Haipang. So, and the land, plots of land that you bought, maybe 200,000, 50,000. I'm telling you, by the time you get it, they start calling millions for you. That is what the dry port will do when it comes. When it commences.
The project is being developed under a public-private partnership model in 6 locations in the country. They are Ibadan in Oyo State, Isialangwa in Abia State, Haipang, JOS, Plateau State, and Funtua in Katsina State. Others are Dala in Kano State, Daura in Kaduna State. The operational manual will guide activities at the dry ports. Such activities include, but not limited to, container import and export by rail and truck, custom controls, and empty container storage. JOS Inland Dry Port is strategically located to serve not only the host state but neighboring states in the north-central zone of the country. Plateau State Investment and Property Development Company acquired JOS Inland Dry Port from Duncan Maritime Services Limited in 2022.
The project is highly capital intensive. And I think at initial, the conceptioneer did not understand the concept. But I think some of them thought that government will provide the money for the development of those projects. But it's not so. I think this contributed a lot to the delay in development of the projects. So we have development, then railway is another problem. But today, we thank God for what is happening. Because of the vandalization of the rail tracks, it has really affected movement of cargo by railway from various points to their destination, or from the seaports to various destinations.
Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Mutuang, who was represented at the event by the State's Commissioner of Budget and Economic Planning, Chrysanthos Dawan, described NSC as an important development partner. He disclosed that the state government is planning to construct an international market which necessitates the establishment of inland dry ports.
By optimizing the performance of inland dry ports, we can unlock numerous economic benefits, such as increased trade volumes, job creation, and regional development. Moreover, the social impact is profound, as improved logistics infrastructure fosters connectivity, access to markets, and overall quality of life. Looking ahead, we must remain agile and adaptive to the evolving demands of the global trade and logistics. Continuous improvement, technological innovation, and stakeholder collaboration will be key drivers in achieving our goals. Let us leverage this operational manual as a foundation to build a robust, resilient logistics ecosystem.
The Commissioner of Commerce and Industry, Plateau State, Honorable Musa Sule, described Nigerian Shippers Council as a key partner in the development of inland dry ports in Plateau State.
We want to build an international market which will take care of the north-central Nigeria and the northeastern Nigeria. In that case, we will need the inland container depot where we use it to import and export. So this inland container depot is very key to us as a ministry for us to actualize our dreams. And the operational manual that is about to be launched, I think, is going to serve as a roadmap, especially to those that are going into export and import. It's going to also help us as a ministry to ease the way we do our businesses.
Coordinator, North Central Zone of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Alhaji Ahmed Yaza, expressed optimism that the operational manual will guide stakeholders and operators of the ports. He urged stakeholders to take advantage of the immense opportunities to be provided when the project is commissioned.
Today's launching of the operational manual for inland dry port is to adequately guide our respective stakeholders and operators on how best to use the ICDs nationwide. I therefore urge all to take advantage of the opportunities and services provided by the Nigerian Shippers Council. Equally good enough, you can contact us with our office here in JOS, along Zaria Road, opposite Federal Government College. We have our area offices in Mina. We have one in Makodi and one in Lokoja. All these ones are meant for you to take advantage of our various services. Apart from promoting this transport infrastructure, we have so many trade facilitation services that assist our importers and exporters how to undergo their businesses successfully.
Managing Director, Plateau State Investment and Property Development Company, Silas Liman, said inland dry port is of immense benefit to the people of JOS and urged operators and agencies of government at the ports to abide by the operational processes contained in the manual, which are in line with global best practices.
Plateau State government has done its bit, and we had a concessionaire in the private sector who did not meet up with the expected time of delivery of the project. Plateau State government came in and intervened So we bought over the concession from the private sector person that was appointed. All this was done in an effort for us to make sure that we give you a very good environment. Now that government has bought the concession and has domiciled it under PIPC, I can proudly say that PIPC is a serious stakeholder in the affairs of shippers in Plateau State and in the North Central Belt itself. So together we are going to chart a new way. The government already is trying to support the business environment by enhancing security and bringing about peace, because that is what will make your businesses thrive. We know the importance of this dry port, as has been mentioned by many stakeholders here. It is a critical infrastructure, especially because of the two mainstays that we have in the economy of Plateau State: mining and agriculture. On that road, when you are leaving JOS, if you see any trailer load, it's either carrying grains or is carrying solid minerals, down to Port Harcourt, down to Lagos, or wherever there is a port. So you can see what potentials we have on the plateau. If you can just come to Hyper and then domicile your product to outside the country.
A former director, legal services of the NSC, Samuel Von Tal, urged stakeholders to take advantage of the project.
I just want to say is to continue to urge the government of Plateau State to kindly put this project on the higher rungs of their priority ladder for the interests of Plateau State and for the future of the economy of this state. I wish to also urge the Shippers Association to continue to nudge the government and remind them of the importance of this critical economic infrastructure.
President, Plateau State Shippers Association, Ajia Aisha Bashir, described the project as a positive tool for the state's economic development, adding that the association will continue to develop maritime industry.
This container depot issue has been going on for years, and I think for a very, very long time we never had any sensitization program like this one. You know, with this one, a lot of stakeholders were called, and at least they were briefed on the importance of the depot. The most important thing here is even the launching of the manual. You know, the manual is a handbook. With that handbook, it's easier for you to be going through and to know what it entails in the container depot. I think it's really a very successful program.
Some stakeholders bared their minds on the inland dry port project in Plateau State.
Shippers Council is, like my colleague came to talk about Shippers Council. Oh, what a wonderful organization. I pray that you will continue to pursue the dream of this organization to make Nigeria a bountiful nation for other nations. We are so rich, but we are not making use of our riches. It's because we fail to realize that there is something good we can give. Please, let's not pursue money. I always tell people, we work with money, we do not eat money. When you eat money, it will never come back. But when you work with it, you will get more to use it. So please understand.
It's one of my happy days in my life to see this thing coming to reality. Because when we used to meet there at the port, at the dry port, my emphasis was always that the local crops that we have, we, by the grace of God, when this becomes operational, what we call lisga and our local yams and other crops like acha can be exported to other parts of the world, starting with the country, Nigeria, and then going as far as Chad, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, and Niger. And so I'm one of the very happiest person today for this, the launching of the operational manual today.
We have Duncan, as the first one. We celebrated it and we thought it's going to come. So we are just keeping eye and watching. All right? We are not running away. We're on the plateau. We want to see the reality that the promise they are giving us today is going to come to pass. We are still importing our goods, bringing it through Lagos. So we are waiting for the government of Kaduna State. We started before then. They are functioning. Will you be surprised to hear that? We started before Kaduna, and now they are working. So let the government, according to their promise, bring it to reality by agreeing with the consignor terms of reference of the contract for completion. That's why I came. All right? Good news, good. We are ready. We are the one. And we are the one to produce the money to the government. Because we are the one bringing the container. We are the one to pay them already. We are the one to pay everything to the government. We are the one to pay taxes to the government. They want a great commitment from them.
You will agree with me that the inland dry ports will open vistas of opportunities in Nigeria, especially for young professionals. The project is a work in progress, and rest assured that we at Nigerian Shippers Council will continue to keep you posted on latest developments around the project in the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Next up, Tidbits. Let's delve into the latest local stories impacting the maritime sector. Mr. Uche Nwogu, Deputy Director of Trade Services at the Nigerian Shippers Council, retired after 31 years of dedicated service. His retirement ceremony celebrated his contributions to the council and his impact on colleagues and stakeholders.
For everywhere you were found, you globetrotted when it concerns the work of the Nigerian Shippers Council. You were fair, you were just, you were very hardworking. You always stood for the right. You always fought for the oppressed. And that one that you felt was not good, you stood out to speak against it.
Mr. Uche was very passionate. He worked with us. Of course, I even worked with him as a younger officer. I shared the same office with him and Mrs. Jato. Some of you know Mrs. Jato. And they made it. I was a young officer then, but I never felt the pressures of being in an office with your seniors. No, they treated me like their baby and took care of me. I enjoyed that period so much. In fact, sometimes I look back with a lot of nostalgia and wish those good old days could come back. That's who he is. He wasn't oppressive. He wasn't high-handed. So everything the DHRM said, that is Mr. Uche and much more. We enjoyed working with him too.
You may not be appreciated, but make a choice. I choose to be happy. That's why I count it on myself. Forget what the records even say here. There are times by 5:45, 5:30, I'm at the gate there. I don't have a troublesome home. I have one of the best homes anybody can think about. But I believe in being diligent. I believe in being dedicated. In conclusion, let us make up our mind to take Nigerian Shippers Council to a greater height. Thank God for where we are today. When we were in Burma Road, it wasn't this glossy, it wasn't this rosy, it wasn't this beautiful. But I can tell you people, if you make up your mind to make a choice to see Nigerian Shippers Council to a greater height, you will succeed.
The Nigerian Shippers Council Complaints Unit recently visited Maersk Line Nigeria Limited to advocate for enhanced cooperation in resolving complaints and improving trade facilitation. Both parties reaffirmed their commitment to streamline processes for the benefit of stakeholders.
We deem it necessary to come and meet with the management to request for a more robust way of transacting our affairs in order to make trade facilitation easy in the country and in order to solve stakeholders' problem. And to also inform you that in case if you have any challenge from any quarters, any of the service consumers or government agencies, do not hesitate to contact the Nigerian Shippers Council. Definitely will follow you up. We receive numerous complaints, but any complaints that we receive, we critically analyze it professionally Once complaint doesn't have merit, even, we don't attend to it. From our own end, in fact, it has to go through the gatekeeping process. We filtered it. When we edit it, we send it out. We are appealing to Maxline that there should be more prompt response to complaints handling, please.
In terms of stakeholder engagement, that is something that we cannot handle in isolation. Customers, our clients will come to you to seek our support. And like you already said, you assess some of the complaints they bring before you and to see the merit in them before you have them escalated to us. That is really appreciated. And of course, when we receive some of these complaints, we also take our time to dig into them and ensure we engage the customers accordingly. In most cases, we have external factors that they don't have control over, that we also don't have control over, that we somehow find midways, to ensure that we address the challenges. Of course, sometimes it may take some time. Other times, it may be swift, depending on the nature of the challenges that may creep upon us. I'll give an example of the likes of traffic that we used to have here in the past. Right? It wasn't a thing that was caused by the shipping lines in Nigeria, not the customers themselves, but somehow we have to step in to ensure that we do things that can help us as service providers and, of course, the customers that are also engaging us.
Let's now check our complaints register for the week. Five complaints were received and they are all ongoing investigations. The type of complaints include refusal to acknowledge invoice, container deposits, detention demurrage, unlawful dismissal, and missing containers. Stay updated with Nigerian Shippers Council's initiatives by visiting our website www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Your feedback and inquiries are valuable to us. Anchoring into the pulse of global maritime affairs, here's your snapshot of the latest developments. Cyprus-flagged vessels have seen growth supported by government initiatives and incentives for greener shipping practices. Measures include tax reduction for vessels adopting greenhouse gas reduction technologies, enhancing Cyprus' competitiveness in the maritime sector. HMM has partnered with CargoX to digitize its bill of lading processes, aiming to eliminate paper documentation by 2030. This move is part of a broader industry effort led by the Digital Container Shipping Association to reduce costs, improve security, and streamline global trade logistics. Purus is introducing Battery Hybrid Commissioning Service Operation Vessels (CSOV) under the Isle of Man flag, targeting sustainable operations in offshore wind and gas transport sectors. This initiative aligns with global efforts to decarbonize maritime operations, supported by innovative vessel designs and regulatory frameworks. And that's all for this edition of Tidbits.
From A to B, from A to B, from north to south, from north to south, from east to west, from east to west, from port to port, from port to port. You can ship your goods and feel good too. Oh yeah, Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency, and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Thank you for watching The Shipper. Now, just a heads up, the Nigerian Shippers Council will soon be going paperless, making our operations quicker and simpler. Keep this in mind as we move forward. Remember to join us next week for more insightful decisions and updates on Nigeria's maritime activities. Until then, smooth sailings.